What's up, it's your girl B Nova. Heard you. Yeah. That's what's up, yo. Heard you. Yeah. Excellerant.
Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Excellerant. You know we're here to learn, celebrate, and inspire. It's your girl B Nova, and I'm about to get my nails done. Follow me. Today we'll be speaking with Misleidys Mora de Los Santos, self-proclaimed nail witch, featured in Allure and the New York Times for her unique and geometric nail art. Alright, this is where the magic happens. I'm about to go get it done. This is Misleidys.
Hello.
Nail tech extraordinaire. You already know. So the first thing I noticed when I came here was her style of applying nails was completely different than the acrylic that I've gotten forever. So what is the name of the style, and tell us a little bit about it.
So basically what it is, it's A-press. And what they are is they're soft gel extensions. And they're basically an alternative to acrylic. And a lot of people sometimes don't like the smell of the monomer that you have to use to do acrylic, and also some people can be allergic to the powder.
Okay.
So basically what it is just a safer alternative to that. It's going to last just as long as acrylic would, and it's going to wear just as long as acrylic would, just without the heavy filing sometimes that it takes to apply acrylic, and also without the scent or the powder either.
Yeah, because it's like pneumonia, and it's like, to me, that's so normal. You know, now going into nail salons, I'm like, you know, so when I realized, I'm like, it was super gentle, and I really like it. So
yeah, there's no odor at all whatsoever.
And you said minimal filing as well, too,
right?
Because we didn't even really file it down that much.
Yeah, usually with the soft gel extension, what you file is the back of the actual extension, and you do file the nail a little bit, but just not as much as you would need to whenever applying acrylic.
So with your fixation on hands and stuff, which I can kind of relate to because there's something about hands that I just like, but I love how you tied it into art. So when did you decide to embark upon your journey as a nail tech?
Well, I became super friendly with the nail techs that lived close to my house in Rhode Island. And she used to teach me some things, and what I would do is I would go and have my nails done and leave them clear and then do the art on them myself. I've just always been super fixated with doing miniature artwork on hands. It came from, I'm not sure really, I've just always had a fascination with my hands and
just how they look and stuff, because honestly that's just kind of one of the first things I notice about a person. Like, obviously you look at their face, and the next thing you know, you look at their hands. So I like how you just was able to translate. I would have never even thought to embark upon something like that.
Yeah, and then it like grew from there. Like, I would have my mom's friends, they would go get their nails done and just leave them clear, and then they would come over and I would do random art on their nails. Yeah,
that's really cool.
I remember back in the day I used to do it for like $5.
Really? That's so cool though that they even let you, because I don't even know. Mama would have been like, girl, have a seat. Like, I'm not letting you touch my nail. But that's so cool. And one of the things I will say too about your work is that I see that you use a lot of shapes, geometry, gold, you know, things like that. And you know, I've of course done my due diligence and researched you because I respect your work so much, and I realized that you had mentioned sacred geometry, and that is one of the main things that interested me. And I was like, nah, you have to like tell us like what that all means and how you translate that into your work.
So basically, sacred geometry is in everything. Sacred geometry is basically different shapes mean different things. When I was in my teen years, I would say I was what people would call a bad kid. So because of that, and because I spent a lot of time getting into trouble and not being in school, I became very into books on spirituality and books on manifestation and law of attraction and things like that. So I became obsessed with sacred geometry because of the fact that different shapes mean different things. So like the circle, for example, is like life. and like the pyramid and the flower of life as well. So with that, I decided, you know, I've never ever seen anyone take that and put them on nails. And it's great for me because that's how I catch when people copy my stuff. Because it's like, do you know what the meaning of that is that I put on that nail? Because there's a reason and there's intention behind it and there's also meaning behind it. So gold, also, like, I'm a Bronx girl and I love gold.
Oh, yes.
So it just made sense to tie the two together and just bring not only sacred geometry into it, but my culture.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. Like, seriously, because immediately, as soon as I saw your work, so I was referred by a friend, and as soon as I saw the work, I was like, oh, like, this is something I've never seen before. The intricacy, number one. Like, I don't know how you do it. And the first time she did my nails, I feel like they were longer. Her own nails were probably a little longer than what they are now, but the way your hand is steady, I love the spirituality aspect about it. I know that you like proclaim yourself like the nail witch. I know on Instagram you do affirmations in the morning. So I think it's really cool, and I love how, you know, you set forth intentions with your work. And another question I wanted to ask is, like, do people often, when you freestyle, is it that you pick up a vibe from somebody and then that's what you translate into your work? Like, where do you get your freestyle ideas from?
I can. Sometimes also I ask people to give me specific colors and I go off of that and their vibe. But always with it, it's very meditative for me. So that's why it's super important to me, not only that I understand like what the person wants, but that we vibe. Because you're trusting me to put something on your hands that you're going to be walking around with for a month, you know?
Yeah.
So my goal is always, obviously, to do it with intention, but also to put something on someone's hand that they're going to look at all those days and just be like, this means so much to me. Or I'm having a really shitty day, but I can look at this and I'm fine. Like, it's just a form of meditation.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to meditate. And for me, this works. Like, I can sit with someone, and whenever I start doing the work is when I always tell people I get really quiet once I start doing the art, and it's because I literally am meditating as I'm thinking what I'm going to put on the person's hands.
Yeah, like, I'm just like, oh, like I'm all in her face, because it's just, it's amazing. And what she's saying is right, because, you know, when I first came, I'd already admired the work, but you know, you go to nail technicians, you don't know what to expect. You don't know what the vibe's going to be. And I just automatically felt comfortable. And literally for the month after, all I could do was just, you know, the compliments I was getting, the intention behind it, the fact that she took her time with me. And it was so intricate and beautiful, and it was just for me. So, yes, that's what's missing in the industry for real.
Yeah, and taking your time is so important. Like, I like getting to know people.
Yeah.
You know, I want to give people an experience and not just a service. One of the things that I've learned when I worked at just regular nail salons was that it was just kind of like all right, sit this person in front of me, get them out of here, sit the next person in front of me. When I opened my own situation, I didn't want it to be like that. I wanted it to be a place where people come in and they feel like they're at home. They feel comfortable, and they can sit down and relax with me, and we can just vibe. You know, like a comfort. I feel like a lot of salons, unfortunately, don't have that. Like, I feel like people sometimes go in and they feel rushed. I don't ever want anyone to feel rushed when they come in here. Like, this is your safe space. I emphasize that so much in everything. Like, it is a safe space. You come here, we chill, we do some nails, and you leave happy. Right. And that's just what it is.
It's been a while since I've been able to find, you know, a nail tech to call my own. Like, I've been bouncing around, you know, from some to some, and just not being able to just stick with the person, because, again, the same thing you just said, sometimes I just feel rushed, you know. And I think also one of the things that I loved, not only was that your work is spectacular, is that you're a Dominican woman, and, you know, most of the nail salons is monopolized by, like, you know, the Asian community, and that's totally fine, you know, that's what we're used to. But, you know, once I realized, I'm like, this is so important to show that it is possible, you know, if you do have a passion for nail art or art in general, that you can make your dreams come true and you can do what you want to do as long as you just put in the work. So
yeah, and also like, listen, Black women are the blueprint.
yeah.
Whenever I have an idea and whenever I want to do something that to me may, or to the world may seem out of this world or crazy or whatever, I know that I can tell a Black woman, listen, I have this idea, and she gonna rock that shit. They're not gonna tell me nothing.
No,
you
that's
know
a
what
fact.
I mean? And it all of a sudden will become a trend. So trendsetters, like, it is what it is, man.
No, seriously. I love luxury. You know, it's something that makes me feel good, just like you said, in a way. People think of meditation as just like, you know, like it doesn't have to be like that. Just carving out some time for yourself.
Yep.
Carving out some time for yourself. And it's much better when, you know, you have someone. One, I feel like from my culture, my best friend is Dominican, so I'm always supporting, like, first of all, women in general, Dominican women, Hispanic women, Black women. I'm just supportive.
I don't have a favorite nail set I've done ever because they all are precious to me.
Yes, because that was me. I'm like, oh, let me pick this up and let me see how the nails look against this glass. So you're definitely doing the thing. So for people that may be interested in like pursuing a nail tech career, what are some words of advice you can give that you wish that somebody may have given you?
I would definitely tell people to remain in your kindness, stay humble, and if you like a specific style of doing something, don't ever let anybody tell you, oh, that's too much, or maybe not, or anything. Make your own table. Do it. When I first started, nobody was really doing little like holographic pieces and stuff and nails, and now I see it everywhere. And you know, sometimes I don't get credit for it, but I know they watching my shit. You know what I mean? So create your own lane, do your own thing, don't worry about the noise, and just believe in yourself. And I know it's cliche to say that at times, but
It's true.
truly, especially in this business, you have to. Because if you love your stuff, can't nobody tell you shit.
That's true. And originality.
Yeah.
That's the main thing I will say. You know, one, I'm glad you stepped out and you did your own thing, because one, word of mouth, referral. I will say that, y'all. Like, it means so much. The reason why I'm even here today is because somebody referred me. So if you see your friends and your people doing your thing, it's free just to refer somebody and just, you know what I mean? And now I just feel so lucky because I already know that this is someone that's taking their time. They worked hard and they're super intentional. So I know that if I'm going to carve out this time for me, it's going to mean something, and I'm always going to be happy with it. So, I'm so glad I found you, and now I'm never going to let you go ever. So, how long were you doing nails before you decided to branch out and have your own business?
I was doing nails in the city, I would say, for about 3 years before I decided to do it on my own. And it basically was because, you know, sometimes when you work at these salons, you know, you can't really set tones and rules as to how you want things to work. And also you meet people sometimes that aren't very nice.
I know all about it.
And they just kind of
yeah.
want things done quickly. So for me, once I developed relationships with clients and I had enough clientele, I said to myself, you know, I want to create a space where not only do my clients feel welcome, but they feel at home. Like, they could literally walk in and just like decompress, you know. I feel like sometimes in salons you just feel tense, you know. So for me, like, once I saved enough and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do this on my own, I did it. And I recommend everybody to work toward that.
Yeah.
Because it's a different experience when you can do your own thing.
Yeah.
And have your own space.
No, and I'm so glad you did. And you know, that's a big message for everybody. It's not easy, but one, you gotta pay your dues. You know, but then two, don't be afraid. You know, once you have a plan and then branch out on your own, you know, because again, it's the word of mouth. It's the work speaks for itself. So she really doesn't have to say anything. And that's the one thing I love. Even before I met her, I just was like, wow, like, whoever this person is, I need to know how their mind works because it's amazing. So,
and like you said with pay your dues, you know, like, I worked in salons for 3 years before I was able to get, my own space. But I worked really hard toward it because I knew that there was something that I wanted, and I already had in mind a vision for what I wanted to do. But I worked at places where I had to do art that I wasn't necessarily fond of doing, and take crap from people I didn't want to take crap from. But
that's how it is.
I'm here.
Yes.
And now you can throw anything my way and don't faze me.
Oh, I'm so glad you said, because sometimes, in life you are going to be put in circumstance that is not comfortable. Like, nobody is saying, just allow people to treat you. But even I've worked in client-facing roles, and when I tell you that's a character builder, because you're going to deal with all different type of people, not so great people. But in a way, now that I look back, I'm glad that I went through certain things. You know what I mean? Because it prepared me and it built me up, and it did that for you. And now look at you, like you're doing your own thing, and I'm sure you ain't worried about no clients. No. I'm gonna toss you some if you need.
Not at all.
As a first step for somebody that's embarking upon a nail career, how is that schooling process? Like, what would be like the absolute first step that you'd recommend somebody to do?
For school, I'm gonna be real with you. You're gonna go to school to get your license and to learn the diseases and basics of the nails. The reason I said, be kind is because when you step out of school, you're gonna do a lot of that learning on your own. There's going to be a lot of YouTube. There's going to be a lot of tutorials. You're going to want to get to know other nail techs that are already in the field, because, a lot of these, everyone, women, men, are super helpful and want to teach and like to teach. So you're constantly learning. With nails, you can't just leave school and expect that's it, like everything, because something new is always coming up. So, school, it helps for you to know, like, again, the diseases of things, the rules you have to follow, OSHA protocols and stuff like that. But the majority of the stuff you're going to learn is once you hit the real world, once you're sitting in that chair in front of somebody. So practice a lot. Get yourself a little mannequin hand or your friends and practice on them as much as you can. And really, that's how I learned. Most of it.
Gotcha. And see, you guys, don't be afraid. You gotta pay your dues. This is an intimate service, so to speak. You're intimate with the person. Again, you have to learn about hygiene, care. So that is important. You're gonna get to the fun stuff, but you definitely want to make sure you get your foundations, and this way you can go ahead and get to the next level.
Yeah, because that is something they'll teach you in school how to do the nail and stuff like that. They don't teach you how to perfect your foundation, and that is something that is number one out in this field. If your foundation is trash, your career is going to be short.
No, and that is so true. That is so true, because I'm telling you, the longevity is when the person cares about the nail. I'm telling you, like, fine, it may look good, like on social media you're posting, but your clientele, you're going to retain that just naturally when you care about your work. Because trust me, wherever she is going, I'm going now, because this is all I wanted, was just somebody that, one, it's such a different technique, and I feel, a lot better about my nail health, and it lasts forever, and it's super cute, and everybody has something to say, so...
Also, people can always tell when someone is doing something just for a job.
Yeah.
And when they actually love what they're doing.
That's so true.
I mean, I feel like I can see it always when somebody's just kind of just throwing pictures on the gram because they have to, versus, okay, I writing out a detailed caption as to why they did something and what the process and thought was behind it.
Right. No, and that's what I love. Like, you're yourself, and it's just people say energy. I feel like energy has become such a buzzword, but it's true though, because I feel like the confidence in yourself and what you do, that speaks a lot, And so what's next for you? Such a cliche question, but where do you see yourself, or what's next for MsLadiiz?
I like to speak things into existence. So what's next for me is I'm going to have my own line of products, and I will have my own colors, and I will have my own decals and all those things. Like for me, next I want to put my name on something, and build from that, because I don't know, I just feel like I've never seen really in this industry, I feel like this industry needs a badass face. Like I feel like a lot of times a lot of the girls that do this they all look the same. So I feel like we need a tattooed badass woman to kind of just
No, seriously.
take the industry by storm, and that's what I plan on doing.
And you're gonna do that.
I
see
am.
it.
I
There's
am.
no, like, you are.
It is.
And listen, you and I wish you so much success. I can't wait because I'm going to be along the journey, booking my appointments. But no, seriously, like, what you do is amazing. And, you know, I admire you, and I really respect what you do. You know, I'm just so happy that you were open enough to share with me and with everybody what you do, and to just show people different. And because that's really the premise of why I'm doing this, to show people, you know, like, oh, what if there's another Dominican girl out there that loves to do nails, but all she sees is like, how can I you know, I see a lot of Asian salons, you know, how can I do this? And now they might see you and then realize like they can do it. So tell the people where we can find you. This way we'll put it up on the screen. We can send some clients your way. But don't book her up till I can't get her.
I would say the easiest way to find me would definitely be Instagram.
Okay.
Under MsLadiiz. And yeah, like all the links and everything on how to get in contact with me are on my Instagram, as well as my email.
Hello, talk to me nice. Put some respect on her name. MsLadiiz is her name, literally. Okay.
And that is my real name.
Hello, friends.